Good Yontiv. The Starr family added a few new things to our home this year. Of course, just about a week ago, we got a new dog. He was a rescue from an animal shelter, and his original name was Bentley. And I said, what kind of a name is Bentley for a rabbi's dog? So we call him Benny. I'll invite you all over for first day of Sukkot to come meet Benny. Rebecca, I think everyone's coming for lunch. So, another thing that the Starr family added to our home this year is a rock collection. Yeah, a rock collection. It's probably hard for you to see it from where you are, but they're rocks. That's probably why it's called a rock collection. And these rocks come from my in-laws' home on Drummond Island in the UP. See, we had the blessed opportunity, now Rabbi Dahlin is here, and was able to go on vacation a little bit. Thanks, Rabbi. And we headed up north, and we had the most wonderful, amazing time with my in-laws. And we also got to enjoy the beauty of Drummond Island. And my in-laws happened to live on the shores of Lake Huron, and they watched the sunrise over Lake Huron every morning. And so we got to go down each day, and my kids, Caleb and Eyal, 9 and 6, like to collect the special-looking rocks. Fossils and all sorts of different crazy-looking rocks. I also taught my kids this summer how to skip stones. You remember skipping stones on the water? It was a wonderful vacation, and we brought these rocks back with us as reminders. At the end of the day, they're just rocks. But they bore witness to this incredible family time, this joy that we had together. To me, one of the most special and beautiful vacations we've ever taken. And these rocks, they're reminders. They bear witness to that joy. I have another set of rocks here as well. These are a little smaller. And they're not kept with the other rock collection, but in this bag. And I keep them on my desk in my office. You see, these rocks were brought back from the concentration camps by Dr. Benuni on one of his visits, and he thought of me and knew my relationship with the Holocaust. So he brought back these rocks. Like the other rocks, these rocks also are reminders. They're witnesses to what happened to our people some 70 years ago. They're reminders. They bore witness. Whenever we think about rocks, we really think about the rock, Tzur Yisrael, the rock of Israel. That's one of the names we call God. And you see, it's really a fitting name because Rock of Israel, we know that God is as strong can be. But because of what's called Tzimtzum, because God chose to contract God's self, God allows humans to control the world, or at least perceive as if we're controlling the world. God allows us the gift of free will. God allows us to make choices with our lives that impact not only ourselves, but the lives of others. So you see, it's fitting to call God Tzur Yisrael, Rock of Israel, because in so many ways, like the rocks from up north or like the rocks from the concentration camps of Eastern Europe, too often God is forced to simply bear witness and to watch what happens in this world. God leaves it up to us to act. You remember last night I spoke about evil and the proliferation of evil in the world. And we know, we learned from the Torah that one of the ways that we can get rid of evil is to do everything in our power to conquer it, to destroy it, to defeat every single one of the evildoers. That's one of the options. To literally wipe out evil by wiping out every evildoer. But the rabbis give us a different option. They say the sword comes into the world because of a lack of justice. And so we know that it's up to us to ensure that justice is provided not only for the Jewish people, but for all people. It's up to us to make sure that those who are oppressed, that those who are enslaved, that those who feel persecuted are given the opportunity for justice. Now, I don't know about you, but as I wrestle with those two options, destroying evildoers or providing justice for the entire world, neither of them seem particularly within my reach. I can do a little here, I can do a little there, but neither of them feel entirely in my hands. So it is that we look for a third way, another alternative for how we might rid the world of evil so that good and righteousness might flourish. The answer actually comes from the Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. The Rebbe taught that whenever you bring Torah into the world, you eliminate a little bit of evil. Whenever you bring Torah into the world, you yourself, you and me, can eliminate some of the evil. Now, after all, as we learned last night, Isaiah says that the opposite of Ra, the opposite of evil, is Shalom, is peace. And we read in Pirkei Avot, Marbe Torah, Marbe Shalom. The more Torah there is, the more peace there is in the world. You see, Torah is an antidote to evil. And living Torah is within our control. You know, as part of my Yom Kippur preparations, my high holiday preparations, in addition to thinking about what words I might want to share with you, Ma'alin B'Kodesh on Rosh Hashanah, the idea of the spread of evil last night, I turned to a teacher of all of ours as part of my own spiritual preparations. I took out Rabbi Groner's book, Rabbi Groner of blessed memory, that recaps many of his sermons, most of them high holiday sermons. And Rabbi Groner gave a sermon entitled The Missing Piece. If I recall correctly, it was after his stroke that he gave this sermon. And he talked about how when we have a piece of us missing, we are most open to God. You see, as another rabbi once said, God loves a broken heart. And as the psalmist tells us, God is the healer of broken hearts. And Rabbi Groner reminded us that we are Bnei Yaakov, we're the children of Jacob. We are the people Israel. And how did Jacob become Israel? Jacob became Israel when he wrestled with that angel all night, you'll remember, at the river Yabok. And there Jacob wrestled with this angel until morning. And just before the sun rose, the angel wrenched Jacob's hip, pulling it out of the hip socket. In that way, Jacob became a little bit broken. But at the same time, in becoming a little bit broken, Jacob became Yisrael, one who struggles with God. After all, that's who we are too. We are the ones who struggle with God. And in fact, we become closer to God when we realize that we have that missing piece within us. That part of us is missing. And in that way, we open ourselves up to our Creator. As we stand here at this Yizkor hour, we are very mindful that all of us have a piece that's missing. Perhaps it's a mother or father, a husband or wife, a brother or sister, God forbid, a son or a daughter, cherished friends, family, who aren't with us now. They are our missing pieces. We tear the Kriyah ribbon at a funeral to demonstrate our brokenness. So if we recognize that we ourselves are broken like Jacob, if we recognize that there is a piece missing from all of us, and we know that it's an obligation upon us to bring Torah into the world, if we put all of those things together, we're reminded that the way we can bring Torah into this world is by helping to find the missing piece in another. It's by taking steps to help heal our friends and our family. We bring Torah into the world when we light Shabbat candles, when we attend services, when we study Torah. Yes, we bring Torah into the world, and we know Chabad does a good job, based on the rabbi's teachings, of going around and making sure everyone has the opportunity to wrap the tefillin or to hear the shofar, and they're so into it that they go corner to corner. They stand at the street corners so you can wrap the tefillin. They go office to office helping people fulfill mitzvot. Well, what if we did that too? What if the way we brought Torah into this world was by identifying the missing piece in our friends and our family, and by seeking to heal them by bringing them into our house for a Shabbos meal, perhaps bringing them chicken soup when they're sick. Perhaps it's a hug when we notice they are feeling most broken. You see, friends, there's not a lot we can do about the evil throughout the world. I'm not sure it's possible to annihilate all of the evildoers, though on some level we have to try. And I'm not sure that it's actually possible to bring justice to the entire world, though we are commanded to try. But the one thing we can do, the one thing each of us can do, is bring Torah into the world by caring for one another, by fulfilling the mitzvot, by living lives of righteousness. You see, lots of us have had rock collections. Lots of us have looked at those things that bear witness to what happens around them. But we don't have to just sit around and bear witness. We can do something about it. Marbeh Torah, Marbeh Shalom. The more Torah, the more peace. Torah is the antidote to evil in this world. So on this Yom Kippur, at this Yizkor hour, I invite you to think of your loved ones whom you remember today and ask, what is one thing I can do in their memory to bring Torah into the world? What is one thing that I can do as a Zecher, as a memorial to our loved ones, to my loved ones, to make this world a better place, to strengthen Judaism? How can I remember in order not to be like rocks that bear witness, but to do, to act, to be ma'alin b'kodesh, to elevate ourselves in holiness each and every year? My friends, it is up to us to eliminate evil from the world. And the antidote to evil is Torah. Gemar Chatima Tova. May you each be sealed in the book of life for life. And may you commit yourselves now, at this moment, to do an act of Torah each and every year in memory of your loved ones. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. And we say together,